Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sejahtera. Today, my group will present about the ASTRO Malaysian Holding Berhad's security challenges and how they overcome it. So, this is my group members, which myself, Muhammad Fidas bin Muhammad Asri, and then second is Muhammad Nazrul bin Nasruddin, then Khairul Fitri bin Kim Hash, and lastly Muhammad Farid bin Kiruddin. Okay, let's start with the introduction. So, about ASTRO. ASTRO is a Malaysian satellite television and a TV service owned by All Asian Satellite Television and Radio Operator. It broadcasts All Asia Broadcast Center from All Asia Broadcast Center in Kuala Lumpur and MISAT in Cyberjaya in Malaysia and Brunei. In Malaysia, the firm was reported to have 71% home penetration in 2016. This come from the Stars Online in 2017. And then Astro provides a 180 television channels, of which 70 Astro broadband and 50 is high definition. And in Astro, so they have Astro Radio, where he has the highest rated radio brands in all major language, with 16.9 billion weekly listeners and terrestrial and 14 millions average monthly digital stream on digital. This is from Astro itself. And then there are two sections which is HQ is at the Kuala Lumpur Technology Park, Malaysia, and the second location is in Cyberjaya, which is 30 kilometers from the metropolis. So the company managed to start on a strategy in 2013 to modernize the consolidate and streamline of technology platform, enhance procedure, and remove state-based operations. So they managed to enhance their product and their company itself. But in same time, there are security challenges that happens in the company throughout the operation. Okay. Next is the problem statement. Okay, firstly, these are the problems that happens in the Astro company, which is the first one is data breach. Second is insider threats. Third is phishing threats, and lastly, ransomware threats. This happens occurs uh, towards the Astro itself, and their victims and the victims are mostly the customer, where in this company in Astro, it needs the customer ID or my card in order to register the Astro plan. So data breach, incident threats, phishing threats, and ransomware threats happens that will attack to gain the customer identity so that they can track the customer in order to get what they want, the attackers want. Okay, next we jump into objective. So our objective in this project is to identify the security challenges faced by ASTRO from time to time. And the second is to identify the security measure taken by ASTRO to overcome the threats. And lastly, we want to propose some solution that may help or uh, may overcome the security challenges faced by ASTRO. Okay, that's all. Next, I will pass to Nazrul.
For literature review, based on our research, Astro has experienced two data breach incidents, where the first incident happened on 6th of June 2018, where the personal data of Astro customers have been offered for sale on lowyat.net, where the data was being sold for 4,500 ringgit for 10,000 records. The seller was offering up to 60,000 Astro Internet Protocol TV for the customer details such as their names, IC numbers, mobile numbers, installation addresses, portal ID, and subscription package. For the second data breach incident, which occurred on the 22nd August 2019, it was reported that ASTRO has noticed there was an unauthorized access in its system. Furthermore, the hackers had gained access to the MyCard data of ASTRO customers, and the data include customers' IC, date of birth, gender, race, and also address. But despite these incidents are not new, attackers continue to hack because there are no charges filed against them. More surprising is so far that no one gets prosecuted since the last telecommunications data leak, says cybersecurity expert Fong Chong Fu. So for the second literature review, which is the insider threats. Insider threat are, for the definition, insider threat are people with legitimate access to an organization or an organization's network and system who intentionally steal data for personal gain or accidentally leak sensitive information, where they could be current or former employees, contractors, business partners, or vendors. Insider threat can be divided into two categories, which are the first, which is the malicious insider threat, where the insider intentionally uses their privilege to access and cause negative impact to the organization's confidentiality, integrity, or availability of the network, system, and data. Examples of this are employee who sold company data for financial gain, and employee who took the company data and sell it to the to the competitors to give an edge to them. And for example, for this incident is the Anthony Lewandowski, which is the former Google executive who stole a lot of Google's proprietary information to create a self-driving truck startup called Otto, where it was purchased by Uber. Meanwhile, negligent is the second category is negligent insider threat, where it is mostly about human errors, where they could make a mistake or an error. For instance, where employee could send an email which contains information that is sensitive to the wrong person, or emailing business data to a personal account to complete some work during the weekend. And another one is falling victim to phishing.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Karfitri Betul Has. I will proceed to the next point, which is phishing threats. Okay, so the definition of phishing threats is a sort of social engineering threat that is frequently used to obtain sensitive information from the user, such as login password and their credit card credentials. Uh, it happens when a hacker possess the user trust and then convince the user to open an email or their instant message or text message. So hence the user file the text that reveal openly to or reveal openly with their personal information to the hacker. Okay, next, there are several categories in phishing threats. So, and one of it is email phishing, whaling phishing, smishing and phishing, spear phishing, and also angler phishing. Okay, so email phishing is like the most common attacks in email. In phishing is email phishing is attacks that use email And then whaling phishing is more specific target, which is it targets big name such as higher up management like senior executive. And then smishing and phishing is using instant uh, message like SMS or voice call. Spear phishing is target on a more direct threats. Like targeted on a specific person, like they know the targeted name and others credential information about the targeted person. Angler fishing is kind of a new tactics that use fake links or clone website. Okay, so there are several examples that we can relate with uh, with the company that we have chosen, which is ASTRO, and fishing traps. So one of the examples that we can relate is in a situation such as an email uh, from PayPal that telling the employee in the Astro Malaysia perhaps that their account has been compromised and need to confirm their credit card details to prevent from their account to be deactivated. So the link from the phishing email is fake, and all the credentials that will be stolen for further crimes uh, in the future. Okay. The next example is it's like employee from the Astro Municipal received from corporate IT that maybe has been in service for Astro Malaysia Berhad, asking the employee to install a new instant messaging software. But uh, the corporate IT is attacked. Uh, so the email that the fake corporate IT gave to the employee is a spoof email that contains ransomware, so that the employee will install the new instant messaging software, and the software included a ransomware that will uh, they need to pay to unlock the computer back. Okay, so next the ransomware threats. Okay, so the definition of ransomware threats is a malicious software that threatens to publish or limit access to data or computer system until the victims pays a ransom charge to the actors, to the bad actors. Okay, so the ransom demand is frequently accompanied by a deadline, like a range of dates that they need to uh, comply to. So the data is will be lost permanently if the victim or the recipient does not pay on time. So there are two categories in ransomware, which is local ransomware and crypto ransomware. So several examples that we can relate to ransomware threats, and the company that we have chosen, which is Exclamation Berhad, is like Loki, which is the ransomware encrypted more than 165 facts and was spread contains fake emails with infected attachments. So in a situation that employee uh, uh, fell with that trick and then install the ransomware on their computers, will then be locked will block access on their computers until they pay. Next example is a crypto locker. This is the ransomware. It's ransomware that spread by infected email attachments. So the ransomware will search for the important data on the computer that have been corrupted or infected. Thus, encrypt the computers, resulting 500 computers that are being infected. So, in a situation that the employee uh, down, uh, download the email attachments, and the computer will be encrypted, and the access will be blocked. So uh, they need to pay to the attackers uh, for their computers to be unlocked.
Hello, for the next part, we're going to talk about the methodology. In this group study, we use a descriptive approach whereby we research the definition and characteristic of the attack on the ASTRO Malaysia Holdings Berhad. And then we study the application of the attack, then how the methods are being conducted. And then we also provide example based on the type of the attacker and type of the attack, and example of the intention of the attack. By the data, we conduct a conclusion after the research done. The type of data we use are qualitative data. This research make use of a qualitative research strategy in the sense that there will be no numeric data or quantitative data was produced. The connection between several variables had to be established through interpretation. We collect the data from the news article and multiple websites. The variable analyzed are the type of attack, type of attacker, and the reason of attack.